Good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News here on TV1. You're joining me, David Paldano. Now, before we head into your stories in more detail, let's first take a look at your headlines this afternoon. Protest in Ridimaliadda over the assault of those who demanded a road. Can the military uniforms of other countries be worn in our country? 3 COVID-19 cases with the Delta variant identified from Colombo. Now taking a look at one of your headline-making stories. A protest was staged in Ada Ulpata in Mahiyanganaya today against the chairman of Ridimaliadda Pradesha Sabha, who attacked the protesters who were demanding a road.
The protest is organized by the Janata Vimukti Peramuna. At first, the villagers protested against the substandard construction of the road from Ridimaliadda Pinnagolla to Veeragolla. A group including the chairman of the Ridimaliadda Pradesh Sabha, Nishanta Jayasundara, who arrived at the premises around 10 a.m. the day before yesterday, obstructed the protest. A group including former JP provincial councillor Sudat Balagalla, who was assaulted during the protest, lodged a complaint at the Ridimaliadda police yesterday.
Leader of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Anru Kumara Disanayake, expressed the following views regarding the Ridimaliadda incident.
The chairman of the Pradesh Sabha, his group of thugs and the employees of the Pradesh Sabha assaulted the villagers. What are they planning to do when the government is misusing the money and cheating the public and spending money on substandard constructions? The people that voice their concerns are threatened by the thugs. These are innocent villagers. Legal action needs to be taken against this. They have arrested everyone else but the chairman. It's one law for the whole country. These laws can't be just sentences in books. To bring these laws to life, we need to take action against such thuggish behavior. These thugs should be arrested. As a political party, what have they got to say about the chairman and his thugs?
Farmers across the country have been severely inconvenienced due to the shortage of fertilizer. Farmers of Amblipitia are a few of the who face this.
Close to 500 farming families in Hagala and Amblipitia cultivated their crops with the hopes of fending for their children. However, due to the shortage of fertilizer, farmers are unable to reap their harvest.
I wonder if the authorities see what the farmers are going through. They started cultivations after going into debt. Now there is no fertilizer. The paddy plants do not grow properly. A paddy plant grows within 754 days. The growth of this paddy plant has been hindered. If fertilizer was applied within 35 days, it will bloom on time. You can see the difference here.
දැන් වෙනස මේකෙන්ම පේනවා. ගොයියෝ මේ රටට බට සපයන ගොවියා මේ මොකද්ද කියන්නේ කියලා මේ ආණ්ඩුව හුම්කම් දෙන්න ඕන. මිනිස්සුන්ට බොරු කරන්න එපා. මිනිස්සු රැවට්ටුව හොඳටම ඇති.
Speaking at a press conference, State Minister Sisira Jakodi expressed views regarding the fertilizer crisis in the country. දුෂ්කරතා තියෙනවා, අභියෝග තියෙනවා, ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා, අඩුපාඩු තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත්
protests over the shortage of fertilizer are being held in several locations. A considerable amount of people in the country believe that chemical fertilizer is not needed. Some factions manage to get successful results from organic fertilizer. There are drawbacks, challenges and weak points in using organic fertilizer. This matter does not only fall under the government or the agriculture department. They put chemicals into plucked produce in this country. In this country, they add formulae into fish, chemicals to milk powder and insert injections into fruits, add brick dust and other chemicals to turmeric. When will it stop?
ඒ රටේ කවනවා. ඉතින් මේකෙ මිදෙන්න ඕනේ නැද්ද?
Secretary of the All Ceylon Agrarian Federation, TB Sarath, expressed the following views.
දැන් සම්පූර්ණ මේ කන්නේ ගොවියා අනාථ වෙලා ඉන්නේ.
They don't receive fertilizer required for their cultivation. Farmers cultivating vegetable, tea, corn and paddy are vulnerable. By importing rice, they have brought agriculture and the farmer to the brink of collapse.
විනාශ කරලා කාබාසිනා කරන තමයි ඕගොල්ලෝ මේ ප්‍රතිපත්ති තීන්දුව ගන්නේ.
The Tamil National Alliance engaged in a protest in Jaffna today, demanding a solution to be provided to the rise in the cost of living.
Members of the Vaikamam Southwest Pradesh Sabha in Jaffna joined the protest this morning.
The Civil Aviation Authority announced that according to instructions received from the National Operations Center for the Prevention of COVID-19 Outbreak Task Force online and officers offline are directed that passengers with travel history in the past 14 days to countries such as Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Oman, Bahrain and Kuwait will not be permitted to disembark in Sri Lanka with effect from 12 a.m. on the 1st of July. This restriction will be enforced until 11 on the 13th of July this year. However, the Civil Aviation Authority and Sri Lankan Airlines confirmed this will not apply to transit passengers.
Yesterday, the government had announced that they were banning passengers from some Middle Eastern countries.
Right.
And there's a lot of panic since that announcement with, I think a lot of Sri Lankans wanting to come back as well. Just want to see if this has been a thought out process and how this will affect Sri Lankans looking to come back.
A decision was taken yesterday because yesterday out of the people who came, 110 was positive. So we have a concern now because from the other end, whatever the PCRs they have supposed to have done, and given the certificates, is a question of validity of those, because with a 3 hours or a 3.5 hours flight, when you land here, when you find numbers like 100 plus, then of course it is a concern. So as a temporary measure, we have stopped it, but we will look into the larger part of it. There should be some room for some investigation, because we have already brought about over 200,000. And there is also another part of the other side of the coin, is that the general public is also blaming us that you are bringing all these people, right, who are infected. And we are doing nothing. But also we need to also look at the health sectors in Sri Lanka as to how, because now because by this coming month, we will have 6.5 million vaccines coming in. Right, so we are looking at completely within the next 2-3 months to vaccinate 65 to 70% of the population.
Meanwhile, the first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine will be administered to those aged over 60 years who are residing in the Western Province starting today. Dr. S.M. Arnold, the Deputy Director General of Public Health Services of the Ministry, stated that the COVID-19 vaccination drive will be carried out at all MOH divisions in the Colombo, Gampaha and Kalutara districts. The second dose of the AstraZeneca Covishield vaccine will be administered to those over 70 years of age in the Colombo Municipal Council areas for the second consecutive day today.
Residents of Borala, Colombo East and Colombo West were inoculated at the Situmina Community Hall on Mugalan Road, Kirulapana today.
It has also been recommended that those who receive the first dose of the Covishield AstraZeneca vaccine can be administered the second dose using the Moderna or Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine.
The Consultative Committee on Infectious Diseases made recommendations to the government during a meeting held yesterday. It was recommended that those who receive the first dose of the Covishield AstraZeneca vaccine can be administered the second dose using the Moderna or Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. The new recommendations will come into effect after the Director General of Health Services prepares a new set of guidelines to be circulated among medical officers of health and other health service institutions.
මාර්ගෝපදේශ සහිත චක්‍රලේඛ නිකුත් කිරීමනවා ඇති ඊට පස්සේ තමයි ඒක ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්නේ.
The Director General of Health Services yesterday confirmed that 41 COVID-19 deaths were reported in the country on the 27th of June. Accordingly, the COVID-19 death toll in the country now stands at 2,985.
Among the deceased were 2 people under the age of 30 and 33 people over the age of 60. The total amount of deaths due to COVID-19 has risen to 2,985. Meanwhile, 1,850 COVID-19 cases were reported yesterday. Accordingly, the total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Sri Lanka now stands at 255,508. The epidemiology unit said as of today, there are 31,315 active COVID-19 patients receiving treatment, while 221,249 have recovered. Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena said 3 more people in the country were confirmed to have contracted the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus. Dr. Gunawardena said these patients were referred to the Kandakadu Intermediate Care Centre for treatment. According to the ministry, the 3 new cases were found at a construction site in Colombo. Earlier, 5 people infected with the Delta variant were identified in the Dematagoda area, while another individual infected with the Delta variant was identified from Madivela. According to the Health Ministry, another such case of the Delta variant was detected from the Polgasovit area yesterday. Samples were collected from Putlam, Anuradhapura and Mana districts to ascertain whether the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus was prevalent in the country. However, no such positive cases have so far been detected in these areas.
The carcass of a sea turtle washed ashore on a Koravalla beach in Moratwa today as well. Our correspondent stated that the sea turtle weighed more than 50 kilograms. About a month after the sinking of the Express Pearl vessel, carcasses of marine life, including sea turtles, began to wash up on the southern coast of the island. Meanwhile, death row inmates of the Valikada and Mahara prison continued their hunger strike for the 5th consecutive day today. Prison's media spokesperson, Prisons Commissioner Chandana Ekanayaka stated that 75 inmates from the Mahara prison and 150 inmates from the Valikada prison are staging this hunger strike. Another one of your headline-making stories. Cabinet spokesperson Minister Kehiliya Rambukwalla stated that an investigation report compiled by the CID and the Army regarding the individuals wearing camouflaged uniforms similar to the Chinese military uniform at the construction site in Tisar Maharama Vava has been provided.
මා දැනගන්න කැමති පසුගිය දවස්වල මේ පුරාවිද්‍යා පනත උල්ලංඝනය කරමින් හම්බන්තොට තිස්සමහාරාම වැව.
There was a construction project that was carried out at the Tissamaharama Vava violating the Archaeology Act. However, as of now, nobody has been arrested. Moreover, individuals wearing a uniform similar to the Chinese military were seen roaming. Our security forces have mentioned who these people are. Can anyone wear uniforms like that? Even though this government spoke highly of national security, you are silent about it.
ආරක්ෂාව පිළිබඳව ලොකුවට කතා කරාට මේ සිද්ධිය සම්බන්ධයෙන් බොහොම නිහඬ සහ නිවට පිළිවෙතක් අනුගමනය කරන බව තමයි පෙන්눔 කරන්නේ.
නිවට සහ නිහඬ කියන වචනය මම හිතන සුදුසු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි. මොකද එහෙම නිවටක මොකෝ.
I think the word backwards is not appropriate use. You may see a backwards nature. There is a legal system in this country. Today the situation is such that a court case is filed even if an MP sneezes in parliament. Moreover, a complete investigation into the matter has been carried out by the army and the CID separately. Members of security companies also wear uniforms like this. The people who are trying to interpret this differently are trying to show that this is a uniform worn by the company.
උන්ගේ ආයතනයේ අඳින ඇඳුමක් කියලා.
ඒතකොට මෙතුමා මේ අපේ දේශීය පුද්ගලයින්ටත් පුළුවන් ද මේ වගේ ඇඳුමක් අඳගෙන රාජකාරී කරන්න?
ව්‍යාපාරෙන්චි ආයතනයක් නම් security ආයතන.
If it is a registered company, they have a list of uniforms they can wear. Had they given it for approval, if it's approved, they can wear them.
පත් කරන්නට වෙනවා. ඉදිරිපත් කරපුවාම ඒකට අනුමැතියක් දුන්නා නම් ඒක ක්‍රාප්ප කරන්න පුළුවන්.
මේ වගේ කැල ඇඳුමක් අඳින්න පුළුවන් කියලාද ඔබතුමා කියන්නේ? මේ වගේ පාරේ ඇඳගෙන යන්න පුළුවන්ද මේ වගේ?
ඔබතුමා දැක්කද ඒ ඇඳුම?
ඔව් මම දැක්කා.
During the cabinet media briefing held today, the journalists raised questions about Basil Rajapaksa regarding his swearing in as the member of parliament and a minister.
දැන් අපිට දැනගන්න ලැබෙනවා
We hear that Basil Rohana Rajapaksa will arrive at the parliament as a minister of your party. The backbench MPs claim that Basil Rajapaksa's arrival will be the dawn of a golden era. The government has not issued any official statement on this. When is Basil Rajapaksa arriving at the parliament?
ඇත්තටම රාජ්‍ය මේ වෙනතෙක් එතුමාගේ පැමිණීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් නිල ප්‍රකාශයට පත් කරේ නැහැ. කවදටද බැසිල් ඇමැතුමා නැවත පාර්ලිමේන්තු වෙන්නේ?
බැසිල් ඇමැතුමා පාර්ලිමේන්තු වෙන එකයිද?
Whether Basil Rajapaksa will arrive at the parliament and what capacity he will act in are completely internal problems. These are the internal problems of a political party. Once we have resolved this problem and this matter is confirmed officially, we will let you know. At present, discussions are being carried out regarding this. You people and the society are very curious about this. It is a decision that has to be made by the political party, and once it's done, we will inform you all.
ඒක අපිට මෙහෙම කියන්නට බෑ. ඒක සම්බන්ධව පක්ෂය විසින් ගන්නා තීන්දුවක්. ගත්තට පසුව තමයි ඔබතුමාලට ඒක ගැන දන්නන්න සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ.
The carcass of a whale shark, which is about 15 feet long, had washed ashore this morning in Trincomalee. Residents suspect that the whale shark may have died after being caught in a fishing net yesterday. Trincomalee wildlife officials are conducting further investigations into this. Of course, with that, we leave you with these visuals that we obtained so that you may see what exactly is going on in this situation. And with that, we also wrap up lunchtime news here on TV1. For more news, log on to our award-winning website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. For the Newsfirst team, I'm David Paldano. Take care.